Visit CCGCastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more. Hello and welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video we'll be looking at Camerupt Entei budget build for Primal Typhlosion. So basically Camerupt from the Breakpoint, 130 HP fire Pokemon with Ram and Eruption. Basically for 3 energies you can hit for 80 and each player discards the top card of his or her deck. Basically, this attack will do 60 more damage for each energy card discarded in this way. So basically, you should probably ask yourself, well, this Camerupt requires 3 energies, it's not that easy to be charged up. But basically, with the Burning Roar Entei, you can easily discard the top 4 cards of your deck, and if any of those cards are actually fire energy cards, you can attach them to your Pokemons in any way you like. So basically, with the Entei, you can power up your Namels on your turn 1, and you can actually maybe even turn 2 start to attack with your Camerupt, and in my opinion it's very strong and very good. Also having 2 copies of Remoraid and 2 copies of Octillery for that Abyssal Hand. Once you can actually set up those Abyssal Hands, you can do the great job because you can actually have Abyssal Hand for 5 until you have basically 5 cards in your hand. And in my opinion, it's very strong. It might not be good against Garbodor, but if you actually play against Garbodor, probably you just want to actually Lysander your opponent Garbodor and play that puzzle of time, so you can actually with the Camerupt or even with the Entei hit for a one-hit knockout for that Garbodor, so you can actually play again Abyssal Hand. So, to be able to use Eruption pretty successfully, you can always play your Puzzle of Time, so you can basically see the top 3 cards of your deck and basically put the top card of your deck fire energy, and this way you can actually hit for like 140 with Eruption. In my opinion, it's very good. From item cards, I'm running like 2 copies of Level Ball, so basically I can also search my deck for Namels and Remoraid and Octillery, in my opinion very important. Also 4 copies of Puzzle of Time, 1 Super, so I can actually shuffle back any kind of Pokemons or energies into my deck, so I can actually use later easily Eruption again over and over again. Of course, 4 copies of Trainer's Mails, which will allow me to look at the top 4 cards of my deck, put any trainer card in my hand. Also running 4 copies of Ultra Ball, same as the 4 copies of VA Seeker. As you can see in this deck, I'm actually not running any kind of the Stadium. But that's the reason why actually I just decide to get as many plays as I can for tech cards. So running without any Stadium card in play, I actually have Delinquent, which can actually help me to discard my opponent's Stadium, and it basically forces him to discard 3 cards from his hand. Same as 1 Bridget, who can actually help me to set up turn 1 if I actually manage to get it. Hex Maniac is here only for those Pokemons who actually has the abilities, something like Greninja Break, so you can actually have pretty decent chance to beat even Greninja Break if you can have Hex Maniac. That's the reason, because I'm running also Bursting Balloons. But in my opinion, without Stadium card it will be a little bit tricky, but it's possible to do. Also 1 copy of Lysander, 2 Ends and 4 Sycamores for draw. A very important Bursting Balloon who cannot be discarded from your opponents pretty much in any kind of way, because Starling Megaphone and Xerosic is just out of the Primal Typhlosion format, so your opponent will be forced to take 6 damage counters or pretty much pass the turn. Also 2 copies of Flowstone, so you can actually have free retreat either way on your Camerupt or maybe even on those Octilleries, and basically 11 fire energy, so you can actually have pretty much each turn Eruption for like 140, maybe even 200, depend on will your opponent top deck card be a energy. If you're looking for any of these cards, as usual, you can find them on CCGCastle.com with 5% discount on your purchase by typing TCG Center 5 code, so you can also visit store. You can find the link in my video description, so in my opinion it's very good, especially if you're new to the game. So let's do some game tests so you can actually see how this deck will work in the action. Alright guys, let's do this. So I will go first if I get heads. And that was the case, so let's see the opening hand. Well, there's Entei, which is good. There's a Namel also in my opening hand, and Super, just in case I actually discard some of my Pokemons with that Burning Roar. On the other side, it's a Mew, so there's a Remoraid, and I guess, I don't know if I want to attach energy right here, but I will actually take a risk. And for now I'm going to pass my turn because that's pretty much all that I can do. There's 1 fire energy attached to my opponent Mew. So there's Encounter. Oh my goodness, what a bad opening hand for my opponent. And there's a Cyndaquil, so he put that Cyndaquil into his hand. So I cannot do enough damage right here with my Entei. There's no way that I can do enough damage with Comet Blaze. I can hit maximum for 20. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to play my Abyssal hand. Pretty much for nothing. So let's see what I can get with the Burning Roar. I'm going to discard pretty much 4 cards without energy, and at least there's a Bridget, so I can take advantage with my V-Seeker for that Bridget, put 3 more anomalies on the bench, and actually take a turn right here. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup. There's another Encounter, so let's see what my opponent will take. Probably another Cyndaquil and put it onto his bench. So yeah, there's just the case that he does. So I'm going to play my V-Seeker right here for the Bridget. I will just expand the bench a little bit. So I will actually put 2 more anomalies and 1 more Entei. Entei will be good, especially later. Going to put 1 different energy right here, and I will play my Abyssal hand for 1. Okay, so there's a Floatstone, so let's go with the Ultra Ball. Pretty much for 1 of my Camerupts. And I'm going to play my Super Road right here. Or actually, I will play Super Road later. I will attach... Oh no, I will just hit with the Burning Roar. Let's see, the 4 cards. Again, no energy. I can see that by the animation of the trading card game. So 3 Ultra Balls discarded. So this is very bad and very sad. I should definitely say that. But at least my opponent have chance to evolve into his Typhlosion right there. And there's another Encounter, so he can definitely search his deck for the Typhlosion this time and evolve. Yep, there is Typhlosion, so definitely very good setup for him. At least it's also better for the game. So I'm going to put 1 more Fire Energy onto my Camerupt. I'm going to play my Abyssal hand again. I'm still keeping my Super Road just in case I actually discard more of my Pokemons into my discard pile with that Burning Roar. So let's go 1 more time with the Burning Roar. And right now I actually managed to find some Fire Energy. So I will attach 1 onto my Camerupt and 1 onto my again Camerupt, so I can have like 2 Camerupts right now ready to attack. At least I pay a lot of resources to set up my Camerupts, but right now I'm pretty much ready, and I also have the Bursting Balloon attached onto my Entei, just in case if he actually decides to came in deactive with his Typhlosion. And yes, there is Typhlosion, so let's see how many Massive Eruption my opponent can does. 80 damage for each energy that he's discarded from the 5 cards, so 400 damage maximum can happen with that Typhlosion, but let's see, will that be a case right there? So there's a Judge, alright. Actually, I lost my Super Road, but I actually need like Puzzle of Time, so I can definitely knock out his Typhlosion if he actually decides to use Massive Eruption, and he managed to get 2 energies, so that's 160 damage right there. Okay, I guess it's time to promote 1 of my Camerupts into the active spot. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to attach my Floatstone. I'm also going to play my Level Ball just to thin a little bit more of my deck, so I can get better Abyssal hand. I guess I will play my Bursting Balloon, and I can even go with my Abyssal hand. Then I will play Hexmaniac. I almost clicked on that Hexmaniac, but thank God that I didn't. Let's go with a pretty much N. I don't want to play my Sycamore yet because I actually need some cards in my hand. So there is a N, and there is finally 2 copies of puzzles. So in order to knock out my opponent Typhlosion, basically I need to look at my top 3 cards, and one of these 3 cards needs to be a energy, and there it is. So I actually managed to find the top card as a energy card, and I can definitely use my Eruption, knowing that my top card is energy, and my top card for opponent was Typhlosion, so that was definitely a good thing. So I'm going to take 1 prize right there, which is another Camerupt. Alright, so there's 1 more time Mew came in the active spot, so he can again use that Encounter and basically to search his deck for a Typhlosion. There's a Judge. I'm not care about Judge because I have my artillery in place, so I can actually draw cards till I have 5. So there is another Bursting Balloon, which will definitely be played. So there is Ultra Ball. Will there be actually another Cyndaquil? And probably encounter again for something like Q Lava in this situation. I will assume that. Oh no, Typhlosion, so that means that my opponent actually have in his hand one card which actually is a... I know that my top card is Sycamore. Oh, actually it was Trainer's Mail, but never mind. Let's go with Eruption this time, one more time. Oh, first I will play my Level Ball just to burn it, because if Judge happens again, I can have better chance. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to attach one more energy to my Numel, and after that Eruption for 80, which is enough. Oh, I mill out my Bursting Balloon as a top deck, but I actually mill out my opponent's Skyla, which was definitely a good one, because right now he can search his deck with that Skyla for supporter card and maybe even rare candy, so it's a good advantage for me. And there's a rare candy for that Typhlosion in the active spot, and probably he have the last card energy. And there is a massive Eruption. Oh, I see like 4 energies, that's 320, but he will take 6 damage counters back, so that means that I only need to find a way out to get Puzzle of Time and pretty much energy card. So the question is, do I even have one energy card left in my deck? Yes, I have like 1 energy card left. I'm going to play my Camerupt, and after that I'm going with my Abyssal Hand, so hopefully I will not top deck the energy, and there is a Puzzle of Time. So let's see if the Trainer's Mail can give me a Super Road. Alright, so with the Super Road I can put back some of my energies into my deck, so there is a better and bigger chance that with my Puzzle of Time I'd be able to hit 1 energy actually. So there is a Puzzle of Time and there are 2 energies, so let's do like this trick. And I'm not going to play my Abyssal Hand, I'm going just to retreat and hit with Eruption for 80, and I'm going to discard energy, which will be enough to knock out my opponent Typhlosion. So there is a prize card for me, and he's down to that Cyndaquil. I know that my top card is a Sycamore, and the next card is actually a energy card. But if he managed to get that Typhlosion again with the rare candy and massive Eruption, that would be pretty much GG. But as you can see, 11 energy is already discarded for my opponent. He was not able to take 6 prizes, so I managed to win. So let's move to the game number 2. Alright guys, welcome back to the game number 2. Let's do this. Let's beat that Greninja break with the Camerupt. I guess this is not possible, but if my opponent actually draws pretty badly, then I actually have a pretty decent chance. Also, if I go second, I can use my Entei to start charge up my Camerupts on the bench. But I first need to find Entei in my opening hand, so no basic for me, which is a very bad sign. Let's take a look on my opponent opening 7. Looks like that he had 1 basic, but we'll wait a moment to see that. So yeah, pretty interesting deck. As you can see, that Camerupt is pretty decent, but it's hard to play against weakness, that's for sure. In my opinion, this is a very good deck against those heavy EX decks, because you can exchange price for 2. And it's always good to exchange price for 2 in my opinion, so I really like that kind of play. So there is 2 Remorites as the starting one, and this definitely does not look good. At least I have my Sycamore and Trainer's Mail, so maybe I will be able to hit that Floatstone, so I can retreat my Remorite, maybe find that Entei, and basically start to put some energies on my Numels for the Camerupt. This is very important. Alright, so let's kick off. Oh, it's actually not Greninja. I thought it was Greninja, but it's even worse than Greninja. It's probably Mega Gyarados with the Palkia, and that would also be a very hard matchup. So there's a Max Elixir, so he can have 2 energies already attached to the Palkia. And that's the case. So he can just use Escape Rope or Manaphy for the switch, and that Gyarados on the bench next turn, and basically use that Aqua Turbo for attaching 2 more energies. There's a Dive Ball, so I would assume it's for the Manaphy, probably, if you want to have free retreat, of course. So, as you can see right here, he actually have Manaphy in place, so next turn he can attach Water Energy onto his Gyarados, so he can have free retreat. The good thing is that if I manage to find Bursting Balloon, I will be able to prevent my opponent from attacking. So I'm going with my Camerupt and Lysander right here. And I'm going for my Entei, of course. I just have 1 Entei in play. This is very badly. And of course, very sadly, so there's a Trainer's Mail for just another Bursting Balloon. Do I want to waste another Bursting Balloon? I guess I will take a big risk right there. I'm hoping that I can get my Floatstone, and I was not able to get Floatstone, so at least I can retreat onto my Entei, but God, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, and I actually just blow away a chance to be able to do some heavy impact to my opponent. But let's just retreat on the Entei and pass the turn, since I attached the Bursting Balloon, and there is no reason to not force him to take 6 damage counters on his Palkia if he decides to use that Aqua Turbo. So I guess that I can take a little bit risk right there. At least I have Level Ball and I have Ultra Ball, so I can have 2 auxiliaries set up for the next turn. Plus I have my Sycamore in hand, so I can take 7 more cards. Oh, there's a Sea Storm. Top deck Camerupt. Let's first go with a Auxiliary, then let's go with the Camerupt, and then let's go with the Beazle Hand, and probably then let's go with Ultra Ball for another Auxiliary, for another Beazle Hand, and story goes like that. And there is Ultra Ball for, yeah, as I mentioned it earlier, for another Auxiliary, for another Beazle Hand. I'm just looking for energy card. I really need fire energy in this situation, and there it is. And I'm looking for Trainer's Mail, maybe for Floatstone, which can be useful. And let's go with Puzzle of Time. So very nice. There are 2 energies and 1 copy of Puzzle of Time, which will be discarded after I play my Burning Roar, so I will definitely pick 2 energies so I can attach them to my Camerupt. I think this is very important. I will lose 1 more puzzle and 1 more Camerupt, but not a big deal. I can put them back into my deck with Super Road. And right now, let's see what my opponent will do. It's very interesting to see Water deck against Fire in action, but it's a little bit easier for me because my opponent actually run a heavy EX deck. I can take easy 2-price knockout over Manaphy. If I can get rid of that Palkia, pretty much I have pretty decent chance to win this matchup. The question is if my opponent even has something in his hand. He can definitely retreat. He can definitely retreat his Palkia and his Gyarados to the Palkia, attack for 80 and put some energies. That's just thing that you need to do, because I actually don't have in this situation Bursting Balloon attached on my Entei, and he can definitely do that, so there's a 80 damage since I'm weak. So what I'm going to do right here, definitely I can even use my Combat Blaze, and I can hit for 80. 2 energies attached to the Gyarados, and in my opinion this looks pretty interesting. But on the other side, I think this is the best option right now to attack with my Entei. If I play N, probably I will just give my opponent a chance to top deck something good. But I also need to find a way to get Bursting Balloon in play. So I will just play first on my Abyssal hands. Unfortunately, no Bursting Balloon, and I will go with my Sycamore. I discarded a lot of resources, but it definitely worked. So there is another Camerupt, and there is a Bursting Balloon. So I can use my Combat Blaze for 80. And if he wants to knock me out, he definitely needs to take 8 damage counters back, which means that I can knock him out with my Camerupt on the next turn. And I can even do that with just a single ram. But I definitely don't want to do that. I want to set up my another Entei, so I will probably play a Trainer's Mail and try to find a way to get somehow. I definitely need to find a way out. Oh, so he actually just decided to Mega Evolve, and in my opinion, I don't know if that was a good call. I should probably say that was a bad call, because there is a V-Seeker and there is a big trouble for my opponent right now, because I'm going all in right here. I'm going to play my Lysander over his Mega Gyarados. I just want to knock out his Mega Gyarados right there. I will play one of my Abyssal hands, which is a Ultra Ball, and the question right now is, what should I do next? Should I go with my double Puzzle of Time so I can take back my Bursting Balloons into my hand? Very tricky. I have like 3, 5, 6, 7, 10 energies in play, so it's very hard to get a viable resource that I actually need. So I'm going to play 2 copies of my puzzles right there, and I'm going to put into my hand 2 Bursting Balloons. I can even play one more Abyssal hand, which is a Super Road, which is very nice. So I will put back 2 of my energies, since I already have 3 of my energies actually, since I already have enough Camerupts in play. And yeah, pretty much Comet Blaze will do the job right here for 80, and if he attacks me back, he will take like 6 damage counters, which is very good, because on the other side I have Camerupt ready, who can hit for like a lot of damage, and who can even knock out my opponent if I manage to get energy on a top deck. So let's see if my opponent actually have energy in his hand. Oh, there is a Sycamore, so he will probably find energy, but the question is, will he be able to find maybe a Rough Seas? And if he even play Rough Seas, definitely Rough Seas will help him a lot in this case, because he will have 50, and after he attack me, 110. And in that case, if I want to knock him out, I definitely need to find Eruption 1 energy for 140, so really not a big deal as long as I can survive, or as long as my opponent actually attacks me. So this is definitely for sure a big deal right there. If he misses energy, he can just retreat on the Palkia and hit with the Aqua Turbo. That's the thing that he can do. So there is energy, and probably I will see that Blast Gazier right here, so I just need to find a top deck energy with my Camerupt on either player's deck, and I can knock out that Mega Gyarados from play, which will definitely be a big deal. So there is 240, his Mega Gyarados took 6 damage counters back, and I'm going to promote, of course, my Octillery in the active spot, because I have that free retreat with it, since I have Floatstone attached on it. So, oh, top deck was energy, but But I'm going to retreat right now. I'm going to take a risk with my Abyssal Hand. Come on, don't be a energy card. Well, there is no energy. There is V Seeker. And I have like 3 V Seekers left. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to play my Eruption. Come on, be the energy as a top deck. Yes, there is energy and there is a knockout for 140, and my top deck card was just a Hex Maniac, which is definitely a good one. So he cannot take the knockout right there. He can just use his Aqua Turbo, hit for 40, and actually for 80, and took 6 damage counters back. But then he is definitely in very bad position right now, because if I can knock out that Palkia, which will have 80 damage counters, so I just need to get 1 energy as a top deck to this card, and then I can just Lysandre his Manaphy for last 2 prizes. And this is pretty much game over for my opponent. I still have tons of bursting balloons left, so I have a pretty decent chance to win this matchup. There is another Gyarados, and this looks pretty badass Gyarados. One of the best arts of the Gyarados card, I should definitely say that. And there's even one more Psyduck, so if I can get Entei powered up, I still have 1 prized. I can even hit for 120 and take 1 hit knockout over that Manaphy, so let's just be patient. I just need to find a way out to knock out that Palkia, so I need 1 energy as a top deck with that Eruption to do a Chaos on my opponent bench, so let's take a look what he can do. As long as he don't have that Golden Break in play, I'm more than happy. And the question is, will he be even attack me right there? So there is a Max Elixir. 7 energies for my opponent in play, and I have like 4, 7, 9 in total, so I have like 2 more left in my deck, which means that I will probably play my Trainer's Mail, Ultra Ball, and VS Seeker for something like maybe even N, so I can get the best chance to take energy and take a chance to knock out my opponent. So, oh, there's Professor's Letter, which is definitely very good play and very smart play. You just want to get as many energies from your deck as you can. But on the other side, if you play Aqua Turbo right now, he will not be able. He will definitely not be able to put some energies back. Depend. Who knows how many energies he play. For me, that Aqua Turbo is big deal because he's going to take 6 damage counters back. And basically, let's see. Who will take energy or 2 energies? Probably that Gyarados. So all I really need is I'm going to play my Trainer's Mail. Then I'm going to play my Ultra Ball. Or I maybe don't want to play Trainer's Mail actually in this way. I just want to have that Floatstone in my deck, or maybe not. Oh, there is a Ant as a top deck. So let's go with the Ultra Ball for a Floatstone and for the N. So that means that I have Numel in my deck, and I have V-Seeker, and I have 2 more energies left. So I have a lot of resources left, as you can see. So I'm going to put one of my energies. Then I'm going to play my Abyssal Hand, of course. Then I'm going to play my Trainer's Mail, hopefully for that Bursting Balloon, which will be a big deal. Yep, there it is. Or even better, for a level ball. So I can actually just waste my level ball right here for nothing. Okay, now I'm going to play my VS Seeker, or actually better Abyssal Hand, so I can take 1 more card even right here, which is actually a energy. Well, right now I'm going to play my VS Seeker for N, and I'm going to shuffle back 4 of my energy cards into my deck. and I just need to get one energy as a top deck. Will I be able to do that? Who knows? But I also shuffle a lot of cards from my opponent's hand, so let's see if he have energy. And there is the energy card, so there is 140 damage, which is just enough for the knockout. And I'm going to take 2 more prizes, and this is pretty much V-Seeker and Ultra Ball, so that means that I can Ultra Ball, I can V-Seeker for his Manaphy, and I can take 2 last prizes if I can just hit 1 energy as a top deck. And this is definitely pretty much GG for my opponent, so I still have a lot of energy cards left. So there is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm running 11 energies, which means that probably I will not have enough resources in my deck to do both of that. But who actually knows? So there is a Gyarados. I can maybe even knock out his Gyarados in this situation, but I need to get like 2 energies in a single turn. So I need to discard one of his top deck and one of my top deck. So there is Eosoda, which means that he can take that Golduck. But even with the Golduck break in play, that will not help him a lot if I can just knock out his Manaphy. So I do have my Lysander in a discard pile, so I can easily knock out his Manaphy. So 11 energies in play for my opponent, 7 in discard pile, 4 on Gyarados EX. He's definitely in better position because I just have that one last Camerupt and one opportunity to win or to lose this matchup. So will I be able to win? I hope I will. So definitely that Manaphy is a very big minus for my opponent at this moment. So there is a Wally for that Golduck break. So that will happen if he have another Golduck break. No, so he just decided to evolve another Golduck. He definitely looking forward to play as many cards as he can. So right now I know that he don't have Lysander or any other supporter card. He cannot play any of these. So there's just Splash Burn for 260. And I need to take a look with my Ultra Ball on my actually... Yeah, I definitely need to take a look with my Ultra Ball on my deck. Hopefully I will be able to knock out his Manaphy. So I'm going to promote my Artillery. There is a Bursting Balloon, which is good, so I'm going to play my Ultra Ball for Deliquent and a Bridget. And there is a V-Seeker, and basically there is a 50-50 chance to win this matchup. So let's see, 50-50 chance. I just need to get a energy as a top deck, and this is pretty much GG. So Eruption, no energy, no energy, no energy. I could not believe in this. No energy card. And the last card in my deck was actually the energy card. So, wow. Wow. Wow, maybe I should just go with a Beazle hand before I actually played my V-Seeker to see what is the last card, and then just go with my V-Seeker for N, and that in that case I would have a double chance. But my opponent actually played 11 cards, 11 energies already, and basically there is a Golduck break, so that means that this is GG for me because he can just move energies from one Golduck to another, and he can basically get the knockout on over my Camerupt. So that last card was the energy. And this is pretty much a GG because he can just retreat and he can attack with his Gyarados with the Splash Burn for the weakness and finish this game. But I hope you guys you enjoy watching this video. It was definitely an epic battle. You can see how very good this Camerupt actually could be. with a little bit of luck, I would actually be able to win. So I was short for that one last energy card in my deck. And yeah, that Golden Break definitely helps a lot to my opponent. He had like 3 Golden Breaks in his deck. This is very interesting. Having 3 Golden Break, I never seen a 3 Golden Break in one single build, but definitely helps him a lot. So there is a knockout. He took 6 damage counters back. Even if I attack that Gyarados, he would just be able to retreat onto Palkia, remove all energies, and use Per Hurricane, so it was pretty much the same. So yeah, I was short for that 1 energy card, and that's pretty much it. And as you can see, the last card is a energy, so I'm going to pass, and pretty much he can just either way pass his turn or just attack with his Splash Burn to take a knockout, and I will not be able to draw cards, and this is pretty much GG. So yeah, I will definitely pause this match because it was interesting to watch. One more time, you see, you can even play against weakness, but it's not that easy. I almost win, so I was short for that one last energy that was actually in my deck, so it was definitely very, very good to play with it. So he even had 1 more energy card. So how many energies he even have? 7, 8, 12. Well, yeah, 12 energies. A lot of energy cards. And yeah, this is pretty much GG. So once again, if you're looking for any of these cards, you can find them on CCGCastle.com. Don't forget to check that link in my video description. And you can find TCG Center 5 code, which will give you a 5% discount on your purchase, so you can also keep that in mind. And yeah, this is pretty much a GG. So once again, there is a full deck list. So if you're looking to build it, you can definitely use this. And yeah, that was pretty much all for today. Don't forget to hit that like button or dislike button if you didn't like this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more future videos. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave comments below. And yeah, that's pretty much all. Till the next time, stay tuned for upcoming new videos and giveaways. And have a nice day and goodbye.